Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another video here on the channel dedicated to Tottenham Hotspur, the space where we discuss everything that happens on and off the pitch regarding our beloved club. And look, today's news promises to shake up the transfer market. One of the most talked about names in Europe may be on Spurs' radar. And it's not just any player. We're talking about Jonathan David, the Canadian striker who currently plays for Juventus, but who doesn't seem to be happy in Italy at all. And guess what? Tottenham and Chelsea are already making moves to try and sign him. Could a big signing be on the way? According to information released by the Tutto Mercato portal, Jonathan David, currently valued at around 45 million euros, is reportedly leaving Juventus after a troubled spell. The striker, who has a contract until 2026, has failed to establish himself in the Italian team and has only scored 1 goal in 14 games this season, numbers that worry the old ladies' fans. With this situation in mind, Tottenham and Chelsea stand out as the two main clubs interested in signing a player. While the Blues see David as an alternative to compete for a position with João Pedro, Tottenham, under the command of Thomas Frank, sees the Canadian as an immediate solution for the attack, especially given Richarlison's poor form. There are no official negotiations yet, but the expectation is that talks will advance with the arrival of the January transfer window. The news quickly gained prominence on social media and among the main sports portals in England. Many journalists consider Jonathan David a talent still developing, but who needs the right environment to regain confidence and rediscover the good football he showed at Lille before arriving at Juventus. Among Tottenham fans, opinions are divided. Some fans believe that the Canadian would be a great bet to replace Richarlison, who is going through a period of ups and downs. Others, however, question whether it is worth investing so much money in a player who has not yet established himself in the elite of European football. Even so, David's name remains among the most talked about in Spurs forums and fan groups. If Tottenham's interest progresses, the arrival of Jonathan David could significantly change the offensive landscape of Thomas Frank's team. The Danish coach has been demanding more efficiency in attack, and the search for a center forward has been a priority since the beginning of the season. With the January transfer window approaching, there is an expectation of concrete moves behind the scenes. Juventus, in turn, seems willing to negotiate the player to balance its finances and make room for new signings. If the deal goes through, the Canadian would arrive to compete directly with Richarlison and even Son Heung-min, offering new tactical possibilities for the coach. The club understands that this could be a golden opportunity to strengthen the squad without paying values outside the reality of the current market. Jonathan David is a name that has been observed for some time by Tottenham's scouting department. Revealed in Belgian football and with great prominence at Lille, the Canadian striker gained notoriety for his goal-scoring instinct and intelligent movement inside the area. In the 2021-22 season, for example, he scored 19 goals and caught the attention of European giants. However, since arriving at Juventus, his performance has plummeted. With only 1 goal in 14 games at the start of 2025, David has been facing criticism from Italian fans and the local press. Even so, his age, only 25 years old, and technical potential still make him an interesting name for clubs seeking offensive reconstruction. At Tottenham, he could benefit from a more vertical and dynamic style of play, which values fast and intelligent attackers. In the channel's view, Tottenham's interest in Jonathan David makes a lot of sense within the current context. The attack needs renewal and more alternatives, mainly because Richarlison has not yet managed to string together the series of good performances that everyone expects. With Thomas Frank in charge, the team's offensive philosophy calls for versatile attackers, with mobility and the ability to finish, and David fits that profile. The big challenge, however, would be to regain the player's confidence, who seems to have lost space and rhythm in Turin. If the negotiation advances, Tottenham may be facing an interesting market opportunity, a young player with a high ceiling, who, in a stable and competitive environment, can return to performing at a high level. So Spurs fans, what can we expect in the coming weeks? The market promises to be hot, and Jonathan David's name should continue to circulate strongly behind the scenes at Tottenham. If the board really moves forward, it could be the beginning of a new offensive phase under the command of Thomas Frank. Now, I want to know from you, do you think Jonathan David would be the ideal reinforcement for Tottenham's attack? Or should the club target another name? comment below, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss the next updates, because there's more transfer bombshell coming soon.